Hi class, a pleasant day to all of you. This is your Prof. Sir Dan, and in this video, we are going to discuss budgetary planning, and we are already in part 2, which is about direct materials and direct labor budgets. Okay? We have already discussed this slide, which is the development of operating budget. And if we speak of operating budget, we are actually preparing budgeted income statement. And we have discussed that we are going to use the absorption costing in the development of operating budget. Okay, we have discussed this, which is sales, less cost of goods sold, and composition of cost of goods sold are direct materials, direct labor, factory overhead. So sales less cost of goods sold will give you your gross profit less expenses. And in this, we are going to categorize expenses as selling and administrative. That will give you your net income. And we have already discussed the preparation of sales budget. And in sales budget, we are going to present it the amount and the number of units that we are going to sell. Okay? And after preparing the sales budget based on sales budget, we are going to prepare the production budget or manufacturing budget. And in manufacturing budget, we will be projecting the number of units that we are going to manufacture. Now, we are going to prepare the budgets for the cost of goods sold. And these budgets are for direct materials budget, direct labor budget, and factory overhead budget. Okay? So these direct materials budget, direct labor, and factory overhead is actually preparing budget for your manufacturing cost. Okay? And these manufacturing costs are your product cost. And if we were able to sell everything that we have manufactured, then this is our cost of goods sold. So class, direct materials would mean, as we have discussed, the raw materials that are directly used in making the product. And the direct labor, these are the cost of workers that are directly involved in manufacturing the product. So under this video, we are going to discuss the direct materials budget and direct labor budget. Okay, let us move on. Direct materials budget. The direct materials budget presents the following: quantity and cost of materials that are required in the production. So quantity and cost in the production, okay? So let us take a look of the formula, okay, for direct materials budget. Okay, we have the quantity of direct materials in the production. DM stands for direct materials, okay? This is the quantity of materials that we need in the production area, and this will be computed as the number of units that we will produce multiply by the number of required direct materials. So here, the quantity of direct materials that are required in production will be the number of units produced multiplied by the quantity of direct materials that is needed for each unit. Okay? And for the cost, here, the cost of direct materials in production will be the quantity of the materials, direct materials in the production, multiplied by the cost of direct materials. Okay? And the second part of the direct materials budget is the quantity and cost of materials that will be purchased. The first one is the quantity and cost of materials in the production. And this second one is the quantity and cost of materials that the company will purchase. We need to have a budget for the amount of direct materials that the company will purchase. So in this, the formula is quantity of direct material purchased will be equivalent to the quantity of the direct materials in production. Then we have to add how many direct materials that you need to have as your ending inventory. And you have to deduct your direct materials inventory beginning. Okay? And of course, your cost of the direct material purchase will be equivalent to the quantity of direct materials purchased multiplied by the cost of direct materials. Of course, the cost of direct materials here will be the same as the cost of direct materials for the purchase. Okay? So class, take note that the information that we need in preparing direct materials budget are first, the direct materials budget is based on the units to be produced per production budget. So that is why you need to have first your production budget because this will be the basis of your direct materials. Okay, here in the formula, it is what we need, the units produced. Okay? And next, other data needed in the development of direct materials budget. First, required materials per product. So in this situation, in stylish manufacturing, stylish furniture, these are the materials needed in the production of tables and chairs. For plywood, it needs 10 square feet for each table. And for chairs, it needs 5 square feet. And for paint, 0.2 gallon for tables and 0.1 gallon for chairs. This information is the assumption. And normally, assumptions made in the development of budgets is based on analysis and studies of the financial performance or the historical financial data. Okay? So this is what we need, the quantity of direct material per unit. Okay? And what we need also is the cost of direct materials. So in this situation, we have plywood at 1,500 per board and paint at 800 per gallon. And here, we have to note that one board is equivalent to 20 square feet. We need this information because the required materials is in square feet. Okay? And lastly, what we need is the inventory level. So we need to have the inventory beginning of each material, in this case, plywood in board and paint in gallon, and the desired ending inventory. Okay, class? Okay, let us move on. Let us illustrate the preparation of direct materials budget. So we are going to prepare direct materials budget for 2021. So needed data in preparation of direct materials budget. First is the units to be manufactured. So in our production budget, this is what we have. We are going to manufacture tables. The quantity or in units is 334 tables and 1,103 chairs. Okay? And these are based on our data. The materials per unit for plywood and paint were given, and the cost of direct materials, we have also discussed that, and the inventory level. These are in our previous slide. So these are the given data. And based on this given data, we can now prepare our direct materials budget. So we have to put our heading, and then we have first to determine the direct material required in production. So the materials that we need are plywood and paint for the production of tables and chairs. Okay? So we need to know the units to be manufactured for our product. And we have two products, tables and chairs. And tables, we are going to manufacture 334 units and chairs of 1,103 units. Of course, these units to be manufactured is based in our production budget. Now, we have to determine how many plywood do we need for 334. We can do that by multiplying the required plywood for each unit, which is 10 square feet. So we will multiply that. So we will be needing 3,340 square feet. Okay. And for chairs, 5 square feet. So we will multiply that by 5. We will be needing 5,515 square feet for 1,103 tables. So we have to total it. So this is the number of square feet that we need in producing tables and chairs. Okay? And the cost of this in the production, the cost of 8,855 will be based on the cost of direct materials. This is per board, and per board is 20 square feet. So 1,500, we have to divide that by 20, okay, because this is in square feet. Okay, so divided by 20, that will be our cost. So 885 times 1,500 over 20 will give you 664,125. So this is the cost of direct material required in production. For paint, what we are going to do is multiply it by 0.2 because for tables it needs 0.2 gallons. So 334 times 0.2 will give you 66.8. Doing the same with chairs, multiplied by 0.1 will give you 110.3. So the quantity of direct materials required in production for paint is 177.1. Multiply that with the cost of 800 per gallon, so you will have 141,680. It is also important that you have to total the total cost in the production. Okay, the management needs that. So the total is 805,805. Okay, this is the direct materials required in production. The next thing that we are going to do is direct materials to be purchased. Okay, of course, the direct materials to be purchased, as we have learned, is based on the quantity of direct materials in production. However, since this is in square feet, and if we are purchasing in the whole unit, which is per board. So we have to convert the square feet into board, okay, and gallons. So here, we have to divide 8855 by 20. So you will get 443 boards. So this is the number of boards that we need for plywood, okay? And for paint, of course, we cannot buy 177.1 gallon. We have to convert that in whole numbers. So we need 178 gallons. And we have to add the desired ending inventory. And the desired ending inventory is 45 for plywood. And then 25 for paint. And then we have to deduct the beginning inventory. And beginning inventory for plywood is 35. And for paint is 22. And then do the mathematical calculation. We have the quantity of direct material to be purchased. For plywood, we have 453. And for paint, we have 181. Multiply this by the corresponding cost. You will have your cost of the direct material to be purchased. For plywood, we have 679,500. And for paint, we have 144,800. So the total direct materials to be purchased is 824,000 300. So we already have our direct materials budget. Okay? Now, class, let us look at certain problems in direct materials budget. Okay? Classroom problems. This is what we're given. So you have materials X on hand, 3,000. Desired inventory of materials X, 4,300. Number of products to be produced, 24,200. Quantity of materials X per product is 2. And cost of materials X is 35. Okay? So we have, first is quantity of materials X needed in the production. We have these formulas we have discussed. Okay, and if you want to list in your own way of understanding what we're given, you can do that. It's better for you to understand. So the units produced here is 24,200, and then the required materials per unit is 2, and then the cost of direct materials is 35. Okay, we are just trying to understand the given in our own way of understanding it. Okay, if you want to have a clear understanding of the given data. And these are the inventory beginning and inventory end. So using this formula, substitute it, and we will have the quantity of direct materials in production is 48,400. So the next thing that is required is cost of materials in the production. So what is the cost of this? So simple formula. We have to know the production, the quantity of direct materials times the cost of each material, and that will be the cost of materials in the production, which is 1,694,000. Okay? And let us continue solving this. So we have gotten 48,400 for number 1 and 1,694,000 for number 2. And we have, these are our given. So let us continue solving the problem. Now is quantity of materials to be purchased. Okay, let us correct that. By the way, there is a double of, okay. And the quantity of direct materials. Okay, here, the quantity of direct materials to be purchased, the formula is this: quantity of direct materials in production plus direct materials inventory end minus direct materials inventory beginning. So with substituting it, will give us 49,700. And the last requirement is budgeted materials X to be purchased. And this is our formula. Okay? So the quantity of direct materials purchased is 49,700. Multiply that by the cost of direct materials. We will have the cost of direct materials to be purchased is 1,739,500. Okay? Okay, class. Next illustration. This is what are given. Quantity of direct materials to be purchased, 119,000. Required materials per unit is 1/4. Cost of direct materials is 110 each. Inventory end and beginning, 15,000 for beginning and 24,000 for end. So here are the required data: number of units produced, cost of production and direct materials, budget on the purchase of direct materials, and cost of direct materials per unit. Number of units to be produced. This is what is the simple formula provides. Quantity of direct materials in production, number of units produced, this is what we are looking at, times the quantity of direct materials per unit. If we are making a substitute, we don't know what is the quantity of direct materials in production. Here, this is the purchase. So it's not in production. It's equivalent to We don't know. This is what we are looking at times the quantity of direct materials per unit. Here it is given. It is 1/4 or 0.25. With two unknowns, we cannot use this. So we have to expand the formula. So here we have this formula, quantity of direct materials purchased. This is what we are looking at, the quantity of direct materials in production plus direct materials inventory and minus direct materials inventory beginnings. Do the substitution. Okay, so here we can use this formula here. Units produced times direct materials. This formula for the quantity of direct materials in production and the inventory data. So here, class, here we only have one unknown, which is the units produced, okay? So doing your algebra, okay, so your units produced is equivalent to 440,000. So we were able to determine the units that you have produced, 440,000 units, okay? So next, direct material cost of production. What is the cost of direct materials? So this is our formula. Okay. So the cost of direct materials in production. So the quantity of direct materials production. So this is the formula for this, wherein we have 440,000 times 0.25 times 110, and will give you 12,100,000. Okay, because the 440,000, this is the units that you have produced, but per unit there is only 0.25 of direct material that is needed. Okay, class, and let us move on. Let us continue. The third requirement is budget on the purchase of direct materials. So here we have already direct information on the quantity of direct material purchased, which is 119,000. Okay, just multiply it. So it's very simple. You will get 13,090,000. Okay, next is requirement is the cost of direct materials per unit. So we are going to use the cost of direct materials in production over the number of units produced. Okay, so here we have 12,100,000 and the number of units produced is 440. So the cost is 2750. We can also use this. Okay, class? We can also use this based on the given. The cost of direct materials per unit is equivalent to cost of direct material, one material per piece, and we only need 0.25, so it will also give you 2750. Okay, class? I will discuss the direct labor budget in the next video. Okay? If you have questions, please let me know. Bye for now.